Dude, another thing that sucks about France is the coffee.
Really?
I know it's counterintuitive, but they only have like little shitty machines that make your coffee, and they're like tiny like this.
Like robots.
I just want a fucking 4 liter of like 260 mgs of caffeine,
like
blasted
Timmy's, you know?
through my face.
Yeah.
Can I have that, please?
Yeah, there's no such thing. They're like espresso.
They're like espresso, reducto, or micro. You want micro or reduccio?
How many molecules of coffee would you like?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I was like that. I'm like, and they're like, what kind of coffee do you want? I'm like, I don't know, allongé, you know, like a elongated, like, you know, a long one. It's the long one.
It's like,
and they're like, oh, you ain't from here. I'm like, what the fuck did you want me to answer?
They sound like that, eh? Like
What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of coffee? I guess she wanted me to tell her like a milk coffee or just coffee. But I'm like, what kind of coffee? I'm like, and I tried to like say it the way they say, you know, un allongé, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît.
But that didn't work.
And she said,
And it failed.
Toi, t'es pas d'ici, hein? J'ai dit, no, I'm not from here. I'm from Quebec. What do you want me to tell you? We have Starbucks and Timmy's, you fucking. Can I have 240 mgs smacked in my face, please?
I want an extra large.
Directly in my asshole.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Fucking Christ, man. Fucking Christ. I was like buying like 4 coffees just to, you know, feel something.
Just to feel something.
Yeah, just something. Anxiety, whatever.
Yeah, I need to feel something.
I'm dead inside.
I hate that feeling when you can't find like a commercialized like big ass like franchise when you're like traveling and all you have to do is like drink espressos and pretend like you're satisfied.
Yeah,
but
dude.
you're pissed off.
But I don't know.
Oh,
man.
admit. Okay, guys, we're here live with Jonathan.
Act natural. Be cool. Be cool.
Move the camera.
Okay, be cool. Be cool.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, it's an apartment.
Be cool.
Yo, record. Oh, can you record the thing?
How do I record?
Oh, Inti Awana Akhla. Do more. Click on more.
Oh no. Oh,
Hey,
no.
Jonathan.
Yo, what's up, Jonathan?
Yo, it's like I'm there, bro.
Yo, can you hear us proper?
Yeah.
Yo, that's fucking proper. Yeah, I can hear you proper. Everybody can hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him. But the thing is, we're not recording. Just give us 1 second.
How do we record? Oh, record.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yes.
Recording in progress. Guys,
Someone
we're
just
here
announced
live
it.
with our correspondent, Jonathan, who's in Ukraine, correct?
No, I'm in
Oh.
Poland.
Oh,
okay.
even worse.
Fair enough.
So,
What do
so,
you mean even worse?
so, are you in a war-torn apartment right now?
Yeah, in nice little forest. You can't tell at all anymore, but yeah.
So, Jonathan, what are you doing in Poland? What happened exactly for you to make the decision to go down there?
Nothing. I had 2-3 weeks free between projects. I was like, I should just go check it out, see what it's like, go document.
Okay, and have you spoken to any Ukrainians?
Yeah, a lot of Ukrainians. Essentially, I spent. I got. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
I got here 4 or 5 days ago, and I've been spending every day, all day long, at the border. So people are like crossing by foot and by car. People are like taking these like, you know, those big shuttles. I used to use them for school, like the big school field trips. They bring you in them, where it's like double decker almost.
Yeah.
A shuttle,
just
yeah.
people full, yeah, those big shuttles. They're bringing people full of them into Ukraine or into Poland and also into Ukraine. So there's a lot of people going back into Ukraine right now.
And are those people mostly men?
Yeah, most like and our age,
Okay.
people who just like want to go fight and stuff. There's this like man, like Ukrainian like nationality and people there are just like fighters and like really believe in like protecting their country. So it's like people like from England stopping by Poland and taking the train into these like war-torn places just to like go fight. It's like crazy. And like you talk to some of these guys who like have made it out of Ukrainian or people that were like studying abroad or making money and weren't in Ukraine when the war happened. And you like talk to them about it and you're like, yo, good thing you're not in the war. And they're like, no, like it sucks. Like I wish I was in there. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we can't. I feel like it's not even the same type of energy. Like I feel like these people have been expecting to get like invaded since they're babies. Basically, it's like part of their culture almost.
Yeah, I mean, like generation after generation after generation, it's just like the same bullshit over and over and over again. And finally, you feel like you're out, and it's just like, nope.
So what are you doing on a daily basis? Are you just going to the border and trying to get as many interviews as you can and like trying to talk to people?
Yeah, I mean, like the first couple of days, I was like, I was just like, I want to go see what it's like and like what people are even saying, and then like document that experience. And now I'm kind of like at the point where like I have a basic structure for what I'm trying to do. Like I have a basic sense of like what's happening, and now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next. Like there's a good amount of those people that I talked to on the, especially on the first like 2 or 3 days where I got good contact with them. We shared Instagrams, and like I could potentially like, go catch up with them or follow up with them in a couple of days wherever they are. Some of them are like in Germany, some of them are in Czech Republic, some of them are still in Poland. Like see like how they've settled in and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any plans to go a little bit closer to Ukraine, like or like enter Ukraine, or is that too a little too
I
dangerous?
thought about it. I spoke to this war photographer, this guy who was going into Ukraine, and he explained that he has to get this special insurance and like this special, there's like requirements like war like military outfits to go in, and there's a special insurance because like if you're going, basically if you're going into a war zone as someone who's not a military personnel, your basic insurance won't cover that because it's like what the fuck are you doing. So he has to have his like a agency, his news, and pay for this stuff, so in case he gets shot, because otherwise like they just won't fix whatever happens to him.
Did you just
So
say news agency?
Sorry?
Because you kind of cut off. Did you say he has to have his news agency cover his like kind of insurance or expenses?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like cover his,
if you get
yeah,
shot, they just won't look after you.
for sure.
Are you getting a lot of these big media corporations reach out to you like as a freelancer where you could report for them? Or do you do that yourself?
I do it myself, but it's like the issue is so hot right now that like I know the second it starts like rolling, it'll just kind of pick up real easily. Like people have so much interest for this stuff, there's so much attention around it that like
Yeah.
now it's like realistically it's up to me to just decide like what I want to do with it, because essentially anything I do with the story will get picked up as long as it's like half good.
You had an interview with Business Insider before this?
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about it, but
Okay, it's all good.
like,
you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's just like part of people like
Yeah, that's cool.
It's all
That's
good.
cool.
You don't have to mention how much money you got from the Pool Boy show to be up here. So
from the interview.
exactly. So what's your goal finally for this project? That are you going to try to put together a documentary, or you're just doing freelance reporting?
Essentially the place it's at now, and I still don't know where it's going to go next, but it's like a lot of portraits. It's a lot of portraits of these people passing by and talking to them, and like a couple written notes from me, and also like their own words. Like the thing is, it's like some of the things they're telling me are, for one, they're speaking to me in broken English half the time or through Google Translate. So a lot of this stuff is getting lost, but then they'll send me, like I follow them on Instagram and they'll send me these messages. I translate it on the thing, and it's like their whole experience. Like, I don't know how closely you guys have been following, but like there's a city called Mariupol that's been bombed, like completely razed. And
Yeah.
I got this DM from this guy because I posted on my story that I was doing this, and he was like, yo, my friend has family there, they can't get in contact with them. And so I was like, yeah, like I can talk to anyone. So I was like on the ground at the border, just like asking for people coming from Mariupol what they knew of like the situation, if they could even get into contact with this family.
Yeah.
And through doing that, I was like talking to this like 16-year-old kid, and he was telling me about like this stuff, and I was like trying to piece together what he was saying. He was speaking to me like in Ukrainian, and I was like, Google Translate wasn't working well enough. And then he was like, you know what, I'll send you my diary. And so he sent me every diary entry from like the first day since the war started. I was reading some of it through like Google Translate. It's like the most disheartening stuff, like him just like on the first day finding out like there's a war at like 16 and like your life is going to be torn to shreds essentially, and him then being at the center of like the city that got destroyed through this war, most destroyed so far.
So he was from that city, Marianopolis?
Mariupol.
Mariupol. Mariupol. Lee?
Yeah.
No,
just Mariupol.
Okay.
What narrative do you see on the news and mainstream media and social media that's completely not correct to what's happening in the field? Is there anything that you're seeing right now that you're like, that's not true, that's not happening? You're cutting a
It's
bit.
difficult because like I think a lot of the things
You're good. You're
it's
good. Keep
difficult
going.
because a lot of the stuff I'm good.
Yeah.
The stuff I'm disagreeing with is like stuff I'm not like seeing. It's like stuff like intellectually I disagree with, like some of the NATO stuff, like people talking about it being NATO's fault, like, but it's not from my experience of being on the ground. It's like, and also like I may be wrong about this whole thing. Like what it can tell you from the stuff on the ground, it's like whatever you're seeing on videos, like however like heartbroken you're feeling that like there's this many people crossing the border, and you're like, oh well, it's probably not that bad. Like it like legitimately it's that bad, and like people need help, and like it's a humanitarian crisis for real. Like if you may not want to look at it that way, you might want to ignore it, and that's fine, but like it is as bad as it seems.
Is there anything that we could do from here that you think is something that we don't talk about enough on mainstream media that could very much help these refugees?
Yeah, so people have been talking about like sending like money and stuff to these organizations on the ground. To be honest, like from what I see, it's kind of useless. They have more than enough resources. People like refugees when they cross the border are met with like, depending on what border crossing, obviously the big ones they're met with like 12 different tents of like anything you could possibly need. There's like vet services, and there's like anything you could possibly need. You have free SIM cards, free food, any type of whatever you need. And so like I don't know how much donating there is useful. I think it's way more useful like to try and find a family in Ukraine and like give them money. Like honestly, like don't go through these organizations anymore, or like find organizations that are giving to like people who don't have the money to leave Ukraine or don't have the money to live in Poland.
Yeah, and do you think like these tents, like this aid, where do you think it's coming from? Is it from the Polish government?
There's definitely a lot of it from the Polish government. There's a lot of it that's just like different countries. Like I saw even Egypt had a Red Cross. There's religious organizations are a big part of it, like Sikhs and Jews and like Christian organizations mainly. Like I was seeing a lot of that. It's every country basically has their own like tent. It feels like, it almost feels like a world fair there.
That's crazy. Is there a lot of visible minorities?
Like helping, yes, actually.
No, like like crossing the border.
No, I saw a couple the other day, and it was like they were like playing soccer there for university. They weren't even like born and raised in Ukraine. They were just like in transit and got caught in this war.
So for which university were they playing for?
I didn't even ask.
Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Do you know if the talks between Ukraine and Russia are going to like try to find a solution, or do you feel like the sense is that Russia's not going to give up until they get Ukraine?
I don't know. Like I try not to read the news honestly while I'm here. It's just like kind of too depressing to also like when I came here it was getting really, really bad, and my sense now is that it's getting a little better. Like it seems like Russia's realizing that it's losing this war, and so, but I don't know, like there's entire cities now that are destroyed. Like Mariupol is like destroyed, like Aleppo, people were saying. So like
what's preventing sorry to interrupt. What's preventing Russia to just like airstrike Kiev and like just take over the main city?
That's what they're saying now. Like their first plan was basically to like, they thought they were going to be able to invade the whole thing and take over all of Ukraine like immediately.
Like the more you destroy,
can you hear me?
The less useful
it
is.
Yeah, you cut out. Just you could say that again.
Yeah, say the last part again.
Yeah, I think they came, like Russia came into Ukraine thinking they'd run through everything and people and Zelensky would give up and like it would quickly overturn into Russian control, and they're realizing it's not happening, so they're now like trying to throttle Kiev. That's like their next step, it seems like. But it's so difficult to tell really like what the people's next steps are. Like I think at one point wasn't Putin talking about like he was doing like military tests or nuclear tests where he was like up in the or something.
Up in the what? Sorry.
Up in the what?
He was like practicing being in a plane as because like
Oh,
presidents are supposed to be up in a plane while the bomb drops so that they don't get infected or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like
not
practicing
sure.
all these things.
Oh yeah.
That's probably just great PR, honestly. Just go fly, and people are like, "Oh my God, he's flying to do a test for
Yeah.
nuclear bombs."
Yeah, we wouldn't know, but
I mean,
we,
it's a big step to take, you know. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the feeling that we're getting here from the media is that Putin is kind of like willing and able to go nuclear.
He might, but that's also like if you're in Putin, you don't want to lose that bargaining chip. If people start to doubt that you're really crazy, what else
It's
do you
true.
have? Like you just have a
Exactly.
failed military.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
And how many do you think people do you see going into Ukraine every day?
Well, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it seemed like there were more people going into Ukraine than coming out of it.
Crazy.
What? So these are just European fighters or Ukrainian descent or half and half or hybrid or like
I don't know how. That's I think what my next couple of days is going to be. I'd like to talk to the people going into Ukraine, but I seriously have no idea.
Okay.
I know a good amount of them are Ukrainian, and from what I was hearing, a lot of the Foreign Legion fighters, which is like the people like from Britain who just want to go fight for Ukraine but they don't have any Ukrainian ties. A lot of that stuff isn't really tied to the Ukraine military directly, and so like they're having harder times like actually like having rules and stuff.
Yeah, what we heard, weren't we talking about this before?
yeah, but I just it was like just one person's anecdote saying that they were from the UK and that when they got there, they didn't like the way that they were equipped. They felt they were under equipped and they felt a little uncomfortable being on the front line there. So they decided to leave. And someone was saying like, don't leave with your army stuff on because they're not going to let you leave Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't know
it
if that was
makes
true or
sense.
not. Yeah. But that would be kind of scary.
I-
Imagine like you want to leave and they're like, no, you're here for the fight, bro.
Yeah.
It's also like I'm not on the ground in Ukraine, so I don't actually know how the military operation's going at all. But like,
Yeah.
the whispers are like it's very guerrilla. It's like everyone's just like, I'm taking this on myself, and so I imagine if you're like coming from more like organized military structures, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's working is the fucked up part of all of this. Like they seem
So-
to be actually holding Russians off fairly well.
So how that kind of leads into my next question. How do you think the morale is right now? Like what's the overall like feeling, the morale?
yeah, what's the vibe?
Well, given that like a lot of the refugees that I'm talking to almost have guilt about leaving, and there's a bunch of people going into the country, it's definitely not like people haven't given up at all. And like Zelensky's seen as like this like demigod almost, like who can inspire hope and like the war isn't over, but like the military, the Russian military is just stronger, I think, like at least in terms of pure numbers. But I don't know, like maybe Russia just doesn't want to get into this actually.
So what have you been like eating every day? Have you been like eating at these tents,
Yeah.
or have you been just like
I'm so glad we get to talk about this.
yeah, go.
They actually have these hot dogs in gas stations, but they're so good. They're like way better than the hot dogs in gas stations in the US. And I've never done this. Try it one night because I was like exhausted. I couldn't eat anything else. I was like, this is so much better than the American food. And I've also been eating like the volunteers there. They have so much food they feed us as well.
That's awesome.
And I was talking to one of the volunteers and I was telling him that like as an American, I really like you guys' hot dogs. And he was like, in disbelief. He was like, really?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
You guys are the gods of hot dogs.
Coming from an American,
Yeah.
yeah, the hot dogs in your gas station
takes off his
out
hat
of
and he's
all
like-
places.
Oh,
So mostly hot dogs as far as that goes, but also
Five-star.
it's cool. It's good to know that the refugees have access to food and stuff like that. What's like the traditional food there? Like what's the kind of food that these helping tents serve? Well, I'm just curious.
Sausages, a lot of sausages.
I love that shit.
Polish
Polish
sausage.
sausage. I love that shit.
Ditka.
Pierogies.
Yummy. Shit, I think I go. I think I go.
I think I'd go. I would go.
So how long are you gonna stay there for?
I don't have a return flight booked, but I got to be back in the States around like the 2nd or the 3rd of April. So probably another week or two, a week and a half.
That's crazy, man. I'm looking forward to see what you do with all the footage and.
So what's the ideal outcome for your trip down there? Like Russia backs away, you get nominated for documentary reporter of the year, and you save a Ukrainian girl and you bring her back home. Would that be the fairy tale story?
That would be fucking beautiful.
Ideal scenario.
Would get me canceled, but yeah.
There's nothing wrong about saving
Romance?
people, bro.
No, there's there's
Dude, it's romance.
as long as it's
romance.
consensual romance.
Yeah, consensual two white people romance is beautiful. Fucking Disney, dude.
Yeah, bro.
But
Okay. Do you have any other message before we wrap it up?
No, just keep giving a fuck about this. Like it's not over at all, and like people are still trying their best to like keep fighting. So like just keep your hearts open to them and like keep caring about this.
Okay,
That's
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you for doing this, and yeah,
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
I mean, I'm gonna see
Appreciate
Oren. I'm gonna see Oren a little bit later. He has a session with Claire. I'll tell him that this happened. He's gonna be stoked.
Okay, sick.
All right,
Awesome.
man. I love you, man. Good
Thank
luck
you,
and
guys.
stay
Thank
safe,
you.
man.
All right, thanks,
Okay,
man. See ya,
cool.
bro.
Bye, bro.
Bye.
Ciao, man.
What a great dude. You see how I slid that little line right before he left? So he know what a great dude. And then he leaves. That's how you that's how you
Okay.
upkeep relationships.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's like,
Genius.
and sometimes he goes, "Shit, I suck his dick." Shit, I suck his dick. What?
Shit, that's like his dick right now. Shit, I wish I did
Stop
suck
the
his dick.
no. Just stop the recording first.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, bro. I thought we were
Like
gonna
this?
listen. No, the other one. The other
This?
one. Yeah.
Full stop, no pause. Okay.
cool.
I hope we have it.
Yeah,
Oh
it's,
my god.
it's,
If we don't have
it's
it,
for sure there. It's for sure there.
yeah, sorry.
Well, that was very enlightening, man.
Pretty cool.
That is wild.
Very
bro.
cool, man.
First time we've had a correspondent on, the Pull Boy show. It just happens to be, unfortunately, quite the crisis that he had to report on.
Yeah.
Reporting from Poland. I had a feeling he was in Ukraine.
Yeah, me too. I think I kind of was talking shit.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
it's hard
that's
to
what I
get that.
heard.
It's hard to get in valid information in these times. You know.
Yeah,
It's- yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. The age of confusion.
Yeah. Especially this podcast, which is going to be mostly misinformation for the
Yeah.
most part.
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
Ideally.
We're getting paid by Putin.
Yeah. Putin's the king of all this.
Yeah.
He's the crime lord. The Crimea lord.
The Crimea Lord. I can't be eating peanuts on air.
Crimea
Yo,
River.
I was thinking about this.
Crimea
okay?
River, dude. I was
Is there
thinking about that.
I was wondering if there's a Crimea River in Crimea, and if people there, when they walk by, they go, Justin Timberlake, Crimea River. I was wondering, maybe.
Dude, they probably know Justin Timberlake.
Who doesn't?
And there probably is a Crimea River.
Yeah.
So I think we're like pretty much there.
There's probably a
I mean, I think
Timberlake also.
There's
A Timberlake,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Okay, guys, I was thinking about this. Okay, what happens? Okay, if let's say hypothetically speaking, this escalates. Russia-Ukraine escalates to World War III.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world. What do? Do you grab a gat and you go fight,
No.
or do you hit the road and go into the nature?
I go to the nature, I find peace.
I find
And
peace with myself. I
yeah.
take a lot of shrooms.
There's no reason
And I
to
run.
fight, and like if you're gonna kill me because I'm not fighting, so be it. But there's
Yeah.
no reason to go violent ever, even in the face of violence.
You know what's crazy
You
is that I would feel like I was being manipulated into
Yes.
a war.
I wouldn't
I'd
couldn't
be like,
do
I
it.
have no idea what the like. I think it's crazy that people that send us to war wouldn't go to war. Like their
Yeah.
kids wouldn't be in war.
They don't have to do it,
Uh-uh.
and they should be mano y mano.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I feel
dude.
like every leader who declares war has to go to war.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's if I were to start a country, shit. The leaders would be the first ones to go.
Yeah.
Shit.
So you got
You think it's a
but
good-
but you would be the leader if you started a country, right? Like,
yeah.
and then you would think
Yeah.
that, and you'd be like, okay, well, then there's gonna be no war.
Yeah.
Straight up, you would just cure the problem.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way actually.
But the problem is that they can just change rules if they're in charge. So like, there's no
Yeah, we
rule
saw-
that's sacred that's can be
We saw that happen with COVID. honestly.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, the Constitution. Well,
Dude, it's crazy.
but it's an emergency.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy that they you better stop yawning right now, you
Okay,
fucking
sorry,
boy.
sorry,
You
sorry.
better stop that shit right
God
now.
damn it.
Yo, you want some fucking?
Yeah, I would love some.
Yeah, this is 5%, bro. It's from
5%?
It's
THC?
from it. No, it's tobacco. It's nicotine, but it's from Switzerland. It's yo. Let's see if you can guess the flavor. Don't read it. Don't read it though.
Oh, I know what this is. Wait.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I didn't read it though.
Wait,
okay, no, but keep talking.
wafting.
Keep talking. I wanna-
What was I saying? Cry me a river.
If it's the end times and there's a war and like you'd feel like you're being manipulated.
Shit, I'm
watermelon?
no,
Strawberry watermelon? No.
no.
Can I look? No.
It's watermelon.
Watermelon.
Introducing new watermelon. Get down. Grenade. It's a Coca-Cola, man.
Coca-Cola.
That's not me.
That's not me.
Coca-Cola.
I on the
No.
5 floor. That's not me. That's not me. I don't know.
Okay, this is what I would do. I would buy a gun. I would pack up my.
And then shoot my fucking brains out.
Yeah, shoot myself real
I'd
quick.
be like, oh, this is perfect. And just pop my head
Yeah.
off in the gun store straight up.
Wouldn't
in the
not
gun.
experiencing this be better than experiencing it?
Thank you so much for this. Pow!
But yeah, it's fucked up. But yeah, a lot of soldiers off themselves, bro. They're like, fuck this. I don't
Yeah,
want to
man.
fight.
You know what movie I was
Peace.
watching in the plane 2 days ago? I was watching Sniper.
Oh, cool. I want to be a sniper, but not in the military. Like independent
Call of Duty.
self-defense sniper.
Self-defense sniper or a paintball.
Rural self-defense type sharpshooter. Fucking
Type beat.
Yeah, type beat.
But it's a wild movie, man. It's a wild movie. And you know what movie I saw right before that? I saw Tenet.
Okay.
But Tenet, bro, it's like they're talking about Ukraine and like Russia and shit. And it was released, I think, like 2 months before the whole Ukraine
It's
thing.
been happening for years.
I
like,
know it's
yeah.
been happening for years, but it's like kind of funny that like, you know,
Yeah.
a blockbuster movie talks about like
It often
Ukraine
ends up like
tensions.
that. Like they'll talk about something and then it happens. Does it happen?
Dude, it's like The
Bro.
Simpsons, man.
Yeah.
It's like that's creepy.
Yeah,
But
I know, but
I've heard there's also like fake supercuts of. Do you need this? I'm just handing it to you.
yeah, I need it.
Fake supercuts of like Simpsons saying that they, you know what I mean, like.
They did it
Like-
before, but it happened after.
But they remade the cut to make it look like it was an episode, but it wasn't really.
Also,
Yeah.
dude, like I've said this a lot. If I was Donald Trump and I saw that I had footage on The Simpsons, I would make my announcement the exact same way The Simpsons made it, to make it seem like it's a holy fucking thing, to make it seem like it's all godly and shit.
Because
You
we
know
just
what I'm
want
saying?
that, you know.
That's all we want. We just want a story, something to talk about, bro. Shit.
We want to
Man,
put it
I
all
need
together.
I need to find a way for people to start talking about this fucking podcast, bro.
Yo, for
Shit, I don't
real.
know what the fuck I'm gonna do, bro.
You just have to keep making them and making them. And making
Yeah,
them
and hopefully Mark is gonna share this episode.
And god damn it, do I have to at any point get naked? Do I have to at any point, you know,
Speaking of
show my
naked,
fucking dick?
we had
show
we
your
had,
butthole and
we
Show
had-
my butthole on cam? Do I have to start an OnlyFans?
We had 2 girls show their tits on the show, but it was going to be only available on Patreon, but I cut it out
Yeah.
because it was too wild.
what are we fucking shooting porno here?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, this is
exactly.
the pool boy show, man. Come
To
on.
maintain the
100%
integrity.
legitimacy.
Don't put
Listen,
yourself in a box though. You can do whatever you want.
This show was supposed to be a lot of fun, but now that we have a correspondent on the front line of Ukraine
It's
and Poland,
heavy. It's serious.
it's heavy and serious.
Super
And you know,
heavy.
it's our responsibility to morph and move like water, you know,
Yeah,
when it
move like
comes to
water.
like, you know, our branding and everything. So I think hopefully if Jonathan has the time and the will, he could join us on the next episode, and that would be fucking awesome as well. You know, while he's there, have him, you know, join on a couple episodes, you know.
Like to correspond or to like when he's
No,
back in
yeah, just Zoom.
Montreal.
I like the whole Zoom call. First Zoom call ever on the Pool Boy show as well.
Yeah, first Zoom call ever.
That was cool.
We're gonna see how it works in
milestone.
post production.
Yeah, you will figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
You
A huge milestone was achieved today.
Yeah,
Massive
a huge
A
milestone.
huge milestone. First Zoom guest, who was also a
Huge.
correspondent.
Yeah, dude. And you remember what he said when we started talking? Feels like I'm there. Well, motherfucker.
We're doing it so well.
Well,
See?
doing
Wow.
something right.
Yeah,
Mom.
Mom.
You had a family nephew time I saw with your little
Yes,
nephew.
I did.
That's a fucking adorable, man.
Yeah,
The
it's
wrestling.
fun. Yeah, it's fun, but it's kind of annoying because once you wrestle with your little nephews or your little family members,
They wrestle with you forever.
yeah, forever.
Sucks.
You're that guy, bro. They ride you
Forever.
like a horse.
I would
Yeah.
totally do that. I would always be down.
No, but
Choke
after
my cousin.
Yeah,
after a
bro.
while, you get tired, bro. You're just like, and then there were sessions where they had all their little friends over.
Uh-oh.
So I was
Climbing on
wrestling
you?
with like, yeah,
The whole
4
fucking
kids, bro.
armada, dude.
for like 4 kids.
Shit.
And I don't realize I'm a grown ass man. You know, maybe it's
you
not a
just
good
fucking-
look.
So you just fucking elbow one under the nose by accident.
But what I love about my nephews is they don't cry. Cause I remember being young when I was like younger,
Solid.
and I was like hanging out with like kids. They would always like fall in like.
That was me,
bro. And then like their parents come, and then you're like, we were just playing, and then like he tripped,
Yeah.
and, now I
And he's a bitch.
Do you think that like? Do you think that like?
And we were playing and we were having fun and he tripped and he's a bitch. I'm sorry.
Observe, look, but like the first time that happened, do you think the mom like went over? You know what I mean? And like, so when he cried, the mom came and gave him all the love and attention, and so he start to. It's like becomes this instinctive thing where you just.
I remember
cry.
I did that.
Exactly,
I remember I did that
exactly.
in Algeria, bro. Like I was playing soccer with my cousins, and then I was playing soccer and I tripped and then my uncle comes out and he talks to my mom. He's like, "Your son's a bitch." He's like, "Your son is a crying little fucking bitch." Like, I don't know what to tell you. And I remember being in the back of the car and he was talking to like that with my mom. Like, he's talking about
The
me.
thing is, though, it's like, it's not being mean to help your kid deal with their
emotions.
emotions properly. Be like, listen, you don't need to cry about this. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna hate you if you cry about this.
No,
but
but
just
Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
Yeah.
What I love about
are you okay? Like don't
exactly.
like cater to them. And be like
And
Exactly.
with them. You know.
But also
Exactly.
don't be like, don't cry.
No, yeah, but just be like,
But like, hey, it doesn't hurt.
hey,
It doesn't
you good?
hurt.
You good? You
Yeah,
good?
we're
Cool,
good,
cool.
we're good,
All
we're
right,
good.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what my sister and my father and my brother-in-law did, because every time the kids would fall, they would trip early on when they were fucking like I don't know 3 or 4. They wouldn't cater to them right away. They wouldn't like rush to see the crying baby. So it gives them space to be like, okay, I don't need to cry.
To be emotionally traumatized
because they
for
can
the rest of the life.
because they can cry for like, you know, like if you cry for long enough on your own, at a certain point you're gonna be like, okay, well I'm done, and no one came, and you're like, well I got through that,
Yeah, I got.
and
through
then
that.
you know then you come and be like, hey, are you okay? Like let them sit in it for a second, and then be like, are you okay? Instead of right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because you're like, are you okay? No, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me be dramatic and let me just sit, like.
Yo, I was
yeah.
a dramatic kid, bro. I still am. Shit.
So that's what I love about my nephews. I could beat the shit out of them, and
That's
they won't
fucking
cry.
cute. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Solid.
Yeah, that's super fun.
That's so fucking cute, dude.
Yeah, but speaking
One
of,
day though, they're gonna be bigger.
yeah, and they'll come back.
They're gonna get
I
you
was
back.
asking him, I'm
They'll
like,
come
how old do you think you have to be able to beat me up? And they're like, 20.
Maybe at 20 they could.
Well,
Yeah,
at 20
maybe.
they can because you'll be 40.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
old,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you'll have
that's
been
so fucked.
training for like 20 years.
Yeah, if I keep
whatever.
training though, I'm gonna be a beast.
Yeah, but dude, can you really train for an armada of 10-year-old boys? Can you actually
Can
do
you
that?
actually prepare yourself for that?
I don't think you can. I don't think there's
You have to hire a bunch of 10-year-old boys, and
Ye-
that's weird.
That's
Because like, who's gonna give you that look? You know,
Yeah.
you need to experience it
yeah, exactly. You need that
for your
look.
fight camp. Like, you have to find some opponents.
How many 7-year-old kids you think you could fuck up if they were like zombies?
I think I'd have to hire like at least a good dozen to see, like, you know, feel their body, see how it feels.
A solid dozen.
Because like I feel like if I were to get like ready for like a solid dozen of 7-year-old boys, I would have to, you know, I would probably like drop a couple real fast, but then like, you know, I might my shin, because I would probably go for the kick immediately for the kick, because like
Range
long
weapon,
range,
you know?
and
Yeah.
like you don't have to go too high, you know, just mid
Yeah.
and just kind of do like, you know, you could probably get like 2 or 3 at the same time.
It's
if
like a
you,
calf kick,
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly. But then, you know, how is my, you know, calf gonna
Hold on.
support that? Like
You're gonna have to
maybe
have
after-
2 side kicks. You're gonna have to be able to rest.
And you see,
one
I'm
while
not
you're-
like that. You know, I'd probably have to train my
I'm
left
not like
leg.
that. I just
I'm
can't
not
do
like
it.
that, you know? People know me as a fucking one-dimensional fighter.
I got a good right foot kick.
I got a good right foot kick, and that's it.
That's it. I don't kick with my left foot. I don't kick with any of my feet. Sam does though.
Do you? So you only do jujitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a brown belt.
Yeah, but Sam
Oh,
does.
shit.
Sam does Muay Thai also
I
now.
do Muay Thai.
How long have you been doing jujitsu?
Like 8 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. it's
Oh
been a long
yeah,
time.
he was asking me the question last time. I don't think I answered it properly. He's like, "How long does it take to become like a black belt superpower?"
like 10 to 12 years. I
I
guess
said 10 years too, but it depends. It could be 4 to 10, depending on like
it could take longer.
4 to 12 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So like if
Like BJ Penn took like 3 years apparently.
Yeah,
and he could wreck you.
He could, yeah.
probably.
At jujitsu,
Yeah.
I'd say probably, but I'd probably give him a hard time. He's older now.
but he's good enough to like stand.
He's older
and roll
now,
with
yeah,
it.
I could probably give him a.
You could pull the surprise too, and
Maybe I know some moves he doesn't know about 10th Planet. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
know what I'm
that
saying?
10th Planet fucking exclusive
That
shit.
weird
That
ass-
exclusive
Yeah.
The
package.
exclusive package.
Damn,
yeah.
like what is that? What
Yeah.
is that? You're putting your fucking hands in some fucking ass cracks. Like,
Yeah,
this
like-
this is the
Rubber
fucking
guard.
tosser, dude.
Yeah, this is the oil check.
Yeah,
You go like,
fucking dude.
Yeah.
And then you go from the oil
Google
check
it.
to the rear naked choke, dude. Classic 10th Planet, dude.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite move.
Transition, dude,
Transition. It's my favorite transition. Oil check to guillotine.
to deep throat.
Would you?
The deep half deep.
How much money would you need in order to fight an MMA fight?
I wouldn't want to do it, man.
No,
No.
you're not down for that shit.
Oh, like a full fight, like an MMA fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to get my head hit.
You're very like whenever I hang out with you, you're very peaceful. You're very like you. I feel like your internal state is a really good state.
Thanks, dude.
But that's why
what
I
do you
kind of
do?
had that feeling too. But then
Yeah.
when you told me that you were like on tour, like a little bit like moody and stuff, I was like,
I feel
really?
like I've been that way. Even this year, I was. I don't know. I just. I can get that way. It can
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
No, but what's your secret for your internal peace superpowers?
Yo, I read this. I read a book like at the beginning of the pandemic.
the mandemic.
The mandemic. The mandem.
Mandemic. It's yo, how is
It's
it
a
in there?
mandem
It's like
thing.
a club, you know what we're talking about?
Yeah,
It's
the
like a club.
mandem.
It's a club. And then, yo, how is it up there? It's a mandemic, bro.
It's a mandemic. That's good. I read a book called the Law of One, and it's like you could take it for what it is. It's like it's some kind of spiritual book. It's like a channeled work, and so what that means is there's a channel. There's a person who like receives the messages, and then there's someone asking them the questions, like asking this entity the questions, and then there's one guy scribing everything down. And there was like it's just essentially the transcript of about 100 sessions of this entity like answering anything that you want to know about the universe, like ask away, consciousness, and whatever all this is. And over the course of that book, they kind of lay out like, if I had to sum it all up, like basically everything is one. We're all part of a consciousness that's a singular thing, but we're just like experiencing this illusion of separation. And like, that's the only rule of existence, is like, treat everything else with the respect you would treat yourself, because it is you. So if you kind of like, you get what you put out, essentially.
Because imagine in a past life you get to experience how people felt about you. So
I think it happens in your own lifetime. Like the karma shit, I think it's real. Like I've had things, like I've done things to someone and then experienced the opposite back to me like 2 years later. And been like, oh man.
Oh, that must.
Well, also,
fuck, you know?
yeah, but also like these things happen maybe often.
Yeah. Also
Yeah.
that.
You remember for a long time. So anything that you remember happening to you now that you remember doing to somebody in the past, you'd like maybe associate it. I'm just being the devil's advocate.
Right,
'cause
right.
I like to believe that I believe in that, you
Mhm.
know?
Because that's, I mean, like to me, that's kind of like what's going to fix the world, if you can even say that. But like people, like if you don't think that there is something to it, doesn't have to be like God or the version of God that you think, or if you're like a Christian or Jew or whatever, like if you think that there's literally no
other like nihilism,
no
basically.
purpose, then there's no rules, then anything goes. Like you're gonna fuck people over. You're gonna, but if you like, if you see that there's something to it, then it kind of implies that there's order, that there is sort of law
Mhm.
built into the fabric of the universe. Like I think if you like infringe on someone else's life, that's not allowed. I think there's not a long list of
things not to do.
yeah, it's essentially like if it doesn't fuck with someone else,
Mhm.
that's okay.
Like the sentiment of oneness is very interesting, because like all of humanity got far by cooperation and like working as a one unit,
Mhm.
you know? So I feel there is like legitimacy to that,
Mhm.
you know? And I remember feeling the same way. Like when you take hallucinogenics, like you
Yeah.
just feel like that overwhelming. I had a friend in Florida. He did like a session. He did, I think, 9 grams of magic mushrooms, dried magic mushrooms, and
That's a lot.
yeah, and like, but it was like a supervised session.
Okay.
So he was like strapped into a chair, like he couldn't move,
Okay.
and they were playing like music in the background, and like he got to meet the woman who was doing it, which was an old woman, and he got to meet her for like days before, you know. Anyways, it was like very structured method.
Yeah.
And he tells me like it was, first of all, it was about giving up to the feeling, you know, because if you resist, you're gonna start bad tripping and shit.
Yeah.
So giving up, and then, you know, tripping his fucking balls off. But that
Mhm.
feeling of oneness that I've also felt on
Same. Yeah.
hallucinogenics,
Yeah.
but not on 9 grams. But apparently, like when you take that much, you could like see the future, understand
all-
your
it all
past.
becomes one thing,
Yeah,
like-
and like once you're
Yeah.
when-
I took 3 tabs of acid once, and I felt like that. I could felt like time, like the past was right now, the future
Yeah.
is right now. It's all the same.
Mhm.
It's all just moments and moments and moments unfolding, and like you kind of feel like this, like you're the lines between you and the rest of shit gets kind of
gets blurred.
blurry.
I remember like being able to see myself, like
Yeah.
for
Like
for a
overview?
moment. Yeah, like I was a camera in the
yeah.
room.
Oh, that's wild. I remember we went to a jiu-jitsu competition once and you took a LSD tab
Yeah.
and to compete.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
It was cool. I took like a quarter of a tab, and I just kind of felt zoned in. Like I tend to get quite anxious when I fight.
Mm.
So I don't know. I was trying to like change my headspace so that I could maybe feel more zen about it, you
Right.
know? And I feel like LSD and shrooms kind of helps you get into this kind of clearer headspace, more zoomed out. So I was like, it was interesting. I was really calm, and I just like won my first fight really flawlessly,
Oh, yeah.
surprisingly. And then the next one, it was like a quintet match. So it's a 5-on-5 thing. And so if like the first guy beats the first guy, he stays in and fights the second guy.
Yeah.
So we were down to me. I was the last guy.
You were the last guy?
Yeah.
And how many guys were left?
I think they had 3 guys left.
They had 3 guys left?
I tapped the first one, and then I got triangled by the second one.
Oh, man.
And where
Okay.
were they from?
They were all from Brazil, but they were at a team. There's a gym in Ontario that
Okay.
they're all,
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
they're all at.
So it was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Was that the only time you tried psychedelics for a competition?
I think
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Is there any other big occasions that you've used psychedelics for?
Definitely.
Like shows?
Yeah, one time. I mean, yeah, shows like I've played a bunch of small shows around, like at a bar or whatever, and I've had some mushrooms here and there. Like not enough to be tripping balls, but
because
like
you do not want to be tripping balls in
No.
front of a fucking crowd. man.
no,
Yo.
but just
I've-
just
like,
enough
I've-
to feel like, yeah.
I've had an old member of Clay and Friends. We were in Tadoussac, and I don't remember I think it might have been New Year's or some shit, but yeah, it was a huge New Year's party. So maybe like 200, 300 people like stuffed in the reception of Berge.
Yeah.
A hostel. And we used to have 2 guitarists. The other guitarist took shroom pills.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with shroom pills, you don't really know how much you're taking, especially because it was a friend who gave it to him, and he just froze on stage. Like he had to be like escorted off the stage. So we did like 15 minutes with him, and then the rest of the show
Oh
without.
my god.
And he was just like blonde, like white, and he was just like, and then I'm like, yo. Just take a chair, man. So he kind of does another like 5 minutes, but like sitting down.
Was he playing or no?
He was playing, but he tried to focus in, but I think at some point it became overwhelming.
It was
Too much for him.
And so he started sitting down. 5 minutes later, he just like just left, and he got escorted back to the room. And I remember seeing him after the show, and we didn't really talk about it, but like, 'cause I knew he was high on shrooms, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember him being at peace with it.
Yeah. He's like, it's cool,
Yeah,
man.
It's cool. I ain't even tripping.
Yo,
I'm like, you ain't tripping. He's like,
if you ain't tripping,
man.
huh?
I'm like, I think we good, man.
We good, man.
We
Cool.
good.
Good. Damn.
I took shrooms once on a gig. We were opening for someone, and it was in Ontario at like a winery. and it was kind of stupid. Like we were the opener, and he didn't have a drummer, right? Like the headliner did not have a drummer, but he had like a 9-piece band with like strings and keyboards and all that stuff. But like drums brings a certain energy, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So he was like, no. Apparently in the contract they said no drums.
Drums in the
for the first band, but
that's
they
the
didn't
worst
tell
kind of,
me. Yeah,
that's the worst kind of contract ever, bro. Some bands, they don't want the band playing before them to shine.
Yeah.
So they tell them like, yo, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like we're usually sometimes a 5-beat. They're like, yo, you have to play 3, not 5, because it's gonna be too much energy. You're gonna steal the show.
Yeah. So
bitches.
the first night I played drums, and it was like just drums, acoustic guitar, and a singer. Like I was like real jazzy about it, you know, but still he was not happy. And then but like their management emailed our management, and then like we found it the next day, and it was some dumb, like he could have just talked about it, but anyway.
That's so.
But so all that to say, the next night, it was a 2-night gig, and so the next night we were like, okay, can we go like to the Long and McQuaid and get like a cajon for the drummer? Can we get shake? No, they said no.
Shakers.
They said no to the cajon, and then we were like, haha, lol, shakers. Can we use shakers? And they said no percussion. The contract says no percussion. So like no shakers. Okay, I understand. So he was like, bro, I know you have shrooms in your bag. Go take the shrooms and come sing harmonies with me. So I put my shades on and I just fucking took a bunch of shrooms. Yeah. And like he was my ride home, and it was like an hour trip. I didn't have any responsibilities. I couldn't play drums. So I was just like, I'll just sing fucking, just be a Backstreet Boy, do some harmonies. And I took shrooms and it was tripping. It was so much fun.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was
was solid.
Fun. It was like at sunset in the summer.
That's
and like
awesome.
in like Niagara. It was
That's
super
awesome.
nice.
Fuck yeah.
What's a shaker for a person who doesn't legit a shaker?
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah. They said no shaker. And that's kind of when I knew that they were pissed about the night before, and they were just being super petty and being like,
no percussion. Fucking
Wow. So you're just like,
So he was like, yeah, take the shrooms, bro.
I can imagine a headliner having like super soft songs, like not wanting to be outperformed by like
but then
don't hire us.
but that's because you don't hire us, exactly. Like you were saying, don't fucking hire us.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Exactly. Like,
what am I doing?
what
bro?
am I doing here? And also, bro, didn't your management tell you beforehand? Like,
Right?
no drummers?
That's what I was like. I was like, why did you call me to come do this gig?
Yeah.
No offense, I love you guys. If you're listening.
Sometimes, bro, sometimes it's just a lot of papras, shit slides,
Yeah, sometimes shit slides all the time.
Shit slides all the time.
Now, Adele, you're a producer also. Like a lot of people watching this, they're wondering, how did you A, book Sam as your co-host of the Pool Show? And
Yeah.
B, what do you do exactly when you're on a live show? Like, what are you playing? Are you like replaying the songs? Are you actually making beats?
So Sam, we drew up a contract, an NFT contract, a smart contract. And the numbers aren't in my favor. But I feel like I just needed his expertise.
Okay,
so
move on to the next question.
I'm not done.
You guys used NFTs. That's fucking
That's super cool. Yeah, we're super hip.
high tech.
No, he made that
We're
up.
really cool.
We're really cool.
We're really cool guys. I produce music at the studio over here, and I also with the Clay and Friends, I have like a little drum pad, little 16 drum pad, and I always like doing live finger drumming. So that's what I do with Clay and Friends when we play live shows. Is that I have my kick, my hi hat, and my snare. So like. And I also beatbox with Clay and Friends as well. But it's less and less beatbox, more and more, because I do a lot of producing. So like what happens is that like I produce a song, certain guitar parts, like the guitar part that my guitarist wants to play, I'll take it out of the loops, because I have these 3 sounds, and I have all the rest are everything else like that I decide to keep in. So it could be like a shaker.
You have all the stems. Ableton Live.
It could be like a an effect type of shit.
Yeah.
So it could be. It could be like, but so I have like, so basically the way it works is that there's like 4 pads and 4 rows. So 16 pads. I mean 4 rangées, 4 rows. So it goes. So I go.
I get that.
And I split up the samples. I do the drums basically. I have a keyboardist, same thing, same concept. Take out the shit that he wants to play. Vocalist, same shit. Sometimes I keep some back vocals in there.
So for the most part, you're replicating the soundtrack.
Exactly.
Live.
Of the
From the
song
record,
that I
yeah.
recorded. Exactly.
Okay. Do you guys ever freestyle and go off?
We do go off, and it used to be like a bigger part of our whole shebang.
Yeah.
But we do have parts during the show that, like, we freestyle a lot. We add, like, Mike is gonna ask like for 3 words in the crowd, and
Oh, cool.
and like start like the guitarist is gonna, like, find chords on the spot, and like we just start a track.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's like kind of the freestyle stuff. But we have also like songs that play on the radio. So like a lot of the fans that want to come to the show, they want to hear the song. You know what I'm saying? So we have those songs that we like play.
The hits.
And yeah,
The
and then
bangers.
and yeah, the bangers. And then we have like maybe like some modifications in that song. Maybe like we make the outro a little bit longer. Maybe we flip the song into like some other rhythm or whatever, remix it in some way.
Who's the biggest fan you've ever like witnessed? Of your
Clay
band?
and Friends.
Did you ever like?
I have like maybe like a handful of fans that like have been following us for like since the inception, of like the band, and who like I think somebody already proposed at one of our shows.
Really?
That was fun. That was a beautiful moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like these like, and they've always been very supportive, and like it kind of felt weird at first,
Right.
like when they're like that supportive, and like because when you really feel like you're doing, like sometimes you feel like, especially when you're starting, you feel like you're doing trash,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it
Definitely.
sucks, and then
Yeah.
people see something in it, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
And you're like, you're doing
like, jokes
too much.
on you, dummy.
Yeah,
I'm
jokes
not
on
good.
you, exactly. But yeah, sometimes it just feels that way,
Okay, and there was a night that you got extremely drunk, where pictures leaked online, where you're holding the mic like a
Oh,
madman.
in France. Okay, so that night, oh my god, I'm
There
so
was a
happy. I'm
night.
so happy that you fucking brought this up. Okay, check this out. This night, man, we're in Strasbourg, which is east of Paris, close to Germany, basically. And we were playing on a docked boat. So it was a bar that like basically opened in a boat. And they had like a showroom, and it was pretty cool. But our sound man is very like specific about what he wants, So like they were like, so it wasn't well equipped. So we did what we could, But it would have been nice with the bigger sound system, FYI. But during the show, I got hammered and like straight wasted, and fucking it's the middle of the show, and the people that like are providing us with like our food and amenities, like our beer and stuff, there aren't like they're not doing it well, so there's missing things on the rider, and that's enough to piss me the fuck off. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be beer in the green room, for example. There's none, so I have to constantly ask for beer at the bar.
Yeah.
Do the lineup, and the worst part is that when I'm on when I'm on the show, I can't ask. There's no more beer in the green room, so I can't drink beer on stage. And
Do you have to
No,
pay
no,
now?
no.
Do you have to pay now?
So no,
You don't
pay.
have to pay,
But
okay.
I'm basically on stage. This is part 1 of the whole experience. I'm wasted. Part 2, I actively ask for beer to the bartender that is working, but I'm on stage between songs. I'm like, I'm not playing another song.
On the
if you
mic,
don't-
you're like,
Yeah, I'm not playing another song
3 shots,
unless there's a
Jameson, please.
fucking unless you guys bring me some alcohol, and the whole band needs some alcohol, And
Fuck's
I'm
sakes.
and I'm making a big deal out of it, to the point where there was like 2 girls that were vibing the fuck out. So she went to the bar, she bought beer and brought the beer on the stage,
Nice.
and that was like super sweet. So I'm like, fuck, I need to do a good job now. I need to stop being a little bitch. So there's French people, they don't have the same etiquette when you're playing a show. For example, if you do a show, we have the whole ritual of doing like encores. All right. So like a band is gonna play for an hour and 15, pretend to go off stage, right? And they have like another 15 to 30 prepared as an encore. People scream encore, encore. But like French people, like they don't have the etiquette of like after the encore, that's it, right? Or like if you don't have an encore, they're gonna insist, sometimes you don't have the space on stage to pretend to go off stage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like weird. And you tell them like, listen, this is the part where usually we get off stage, but I'm literally trapped in like a fucking animal in a cage right now. So I can't go out. So this is the end of the show, but this is the encore. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Follow
Can you
me
understand?
here.
Yeah.
You understand, guys? Come on.
They're like, but they didn't leave.
So why encore?
Yeah, exactly. So
No, but then we want an encore when they're done because
exactly.
they didn't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
So where's the rest of the music? Clay and Friends, they fucking shot the bed, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I hated that show. They didn't do an encore.
Yeah, exactly. But you get the vibe. So like, at some point the guy starts bitching. A guy starts bitching, and I'm like, "Yo, va te faire foutre, man." In
No
French.
way.
But yo,
Fuck
I
yourself,
insult
homie.
people, bro. I insult people, bro. If you fuck with me, bro, I insult. Like, especially when I'm on tour, sometimes I go a little crazy, you know. But it's always in good fun and humor. So I was drunk, I was having a good time, and you know we were friends at this point, you know.
Okay,
and
yeah,
at the end of
yeah.
the show, I'm like, and this one guy's keep making fucking noise. I'm like, yo, va te faire foutre, bro. Personne veut t'entendre, you know. That's it, you know.
Okay.
Nobody wants to hear you, basically.
Yeah.
And then my guitarist, he has a talkback mic, so
shit.
he talks to us, but not to the crowd, to like call us sections.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, what the
Don't
bro?
don't say that.
Chill the fuck out, you know, chill the fuck out. And I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Okay, cool, my bad. Whatever, not a big deal, but fine.
Because usually you're allowed to clap back, but even at that circumstance,
He
he felt like you were off. You were off.
It was a little too much.
It was a little too much. Okay.
But I kind of understand, because before that, what happened was, and this, I'm telling you, it's all in good fun, and it's all. This is what I tell myself to be able to sleep at night, at least, that it's all in good fun.
I was just kidding.
Yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
Putin goes like, "Oh, it was a joke. it was a prank, you idiots."
This guy's comparing to
No, I'm just kidding.
Another example, before that happened, there was a person that was really annoying coming on stage between songs. Like, he thought that we were like best buds because, you know, I spoke to him before the show. I was a nice guy, and he thought that he could just open up, you know, like really be part of the whole thing.
Right.
And it's like, yo, you don't come on stage like between songs. That's like a weird one, you know,
weird.
especially because when we're in France, like that never happens here. But when we're in France, we're not this, like, we're kind of nobodies, you know, so we're kind of like building from nothing. So these shows sometimes are like smaller venues and things like that. So it's like very much more intimate. So when it's intimate like that, you rely on etiquette, really, because it could easily go wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And this guy was like kind of fucking around, and he was kind of, you know, we were clapping, he was clapping back, but it was all in good fun. And he had like a burnt eye, you know, like he could see, but his eye was kind of like scarred and burnt. And he was talking shit, and I'm like, yo, Monet, bro, Monet, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Monet is kind of in French way to say like, yeah, my ass, like it didn't happen, but it means my eye, you know. And
he's like, "What are you trying to say, man?"
yeah, but then and then he started laughing, and it was all cool, whatever, you know. But then after the show, and then that thing that I told you before happened, you know, with me clapping.
But that wasn't the same person. It was two different
people.
Okay.
And then after the show, in the green room, I'm like, yo, my bad. Talking to Clem, like, yo, shit, I my bad. I didn't know. And then my sound man comes in the green room, and I'm like, yo, do you feel like I said anything fucked up during the show? Because my guitarist was saying that he thought it was fucked up when I said, go fuck yourself to the guy. But then the sound man, and mind you, the guy with the one eye, that happened at the beginning of the show. So I almost forgot, you know. The sound man comes in, he's like, did I say anything fucked up during your show? He's like, yeah, the thing about the eye. I'm like, oh shit, it's true. I said something about the eye. So, you know, like two different people were offended by two different things, you know, but Antoine didn't even hear the other thing. So yeah, sometimes shit gets so heated in the moment, man. It's like fucked up, you know.
But he was kind of heckling, no? The guy
He was heckling, exactly. So what I tell myself is like, bro, it's an intimate show. I'm gonna heckle back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a wild one. We were like, you know, the two first acts were like underground rappers from like France, you know. So it was like kind of a ruckus. Like it was kind of like,
this is one of those nights,
and you know, people were drunk, like.
And,
so,
and it's in like a small space that there's not really a line between like the stage and the room.
Yeah.
And it's like depending on how small.
And if you're an
but,
asshole, bro, if you're an asshole, like if you're an asshole and you want to go on stage, you're gonna go on stage.
Yeah.
You know, like even though like it looked like a stage, we were on a stage. You know, it's not as if you was like, you know, walking by and like, oh, sorry, I'm on stage. And like you have
like
to make,
playing in the corner of the room.
Yeah, exactly. You have to make the effort to go on stage. So I don't know, man. Sometimes it gets fucking it gets wild. And you know, you wake up the next morning, you're like, fuck, you know? I mean, I don't know. I hate making like other people feel uncomfortable, like when it's my own band, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I remember back in the days, like I already beefed, bro, with like my lead singer on stage, bro.
No way.
Yeah, like it was like
With Mike?
Yeah, like, like way back, like way
Early
back,
stages?
like 8 years ago.
On stage beef.
On stage beef. It was like late night at like this festival and we were like, I was high on Molly, I think he was high on Molly, and we were like way too drunk. And then like I thought we were having because we used to do like, I used to only beatbox, so it used to be vicious beatbox. I used to be like on stage sweating profusely constantly, you know, it was hardcore, you know. And like Mike used to do a lot of like freestyling, so we used to like feed off of each other like a lot, you know. And I felt I was in the right to be like in the spirit of music, you know, like push him and be like, yo, come on, let's do this, you know. Kind of like immature hip hop mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't take it that way
on stage,
know?
like like to actually yeah.
But then like during the show, like I felt like I fucked up, but like it wasn't in my intention to, you know, like sometimes like the line is so thin between people being like, oh, that was too much, or like, oh, that was not enough, because you know 90% of the time I'm talking shit and doing shit, and like it's okay, you know what I'm saying? But 10%, that 10%, maybe I do go a bit overboard, but like I feel
you're a wild man, you know,
fuck it, people
at least at least you, if you cross the line, at least you get to know where it is. And like a lot of people never live enough to get, you know, you
exactly.
mean they're so safe with it that they don't ever get to that experience these things. So
exactly, like this podcast, for example, like a lot of people, you know, on the internet talking shit, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So the people who are fans of this podcast at home, if you could find it in the kindness of your heart to leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, share this with a friend who you think might like this, and make the Pool Boy Show become the next CNN.
Exactly. MSNBC.
Your number one source of misinformation.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, should we call this?
Should we wrap it?
Let's wrap her up.
Let's call it. Let's wrap her up, boys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. This was episode 14 of the Pool Boy Show. It was real, man.
Yeah, we had a correspondent.
Yeah, we had a correspondent. We had Marky Beats, first birthday on the show.
Yeah, it is holy shit. Yeah, man.
First correspondent on the show. We got some crazy insights on the situation in Ukraine.
It was a huge pleasure to meet you, man. Hopefully you could come through like very soon.
Yeah,
again. Yeah, man. Like this, like party, you know.
Let's make some shit in this.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
There we go, guys. So have a good one. Peace.